Welcome back to Wise Gold, where we explore useful and fascinating knowledge tailored for those entering the golden years of life. Join us as we dive into valuable experiences, skills, and insights to make your journey even richer and more meaningful. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on the great video we have in store. It was a crisp fall evening when I found myself sitting across from my father at our old wooden kitchen table. The flicker of the fireplace cast shadows across the room, but the warmth I craved wasn't coming from the flames. I was 18, just starting to navigate the murky waters of adulthood, and I had approached my father with what seemed like a simple request: a loan. I had planned to attend a music festival with friends and needed some extra cash. My father, a man who didn't waste words, leaned back in his chair, his eyes serious but calm. "Son," he said slowly, "the best gift I can give you is learning how to stand on your own 2 feet." At the time, his refusal felt like a betrayal. I thought he didn't understand, or worse, didn't care about my happiness. But now, decades later, I realized that in that moment, he wasn't withholding something from me. He was giving me one of life's most valuable lessons. That lesson, like many others, is something every parent grapples with: knowing what to give, and just as importantly, what not to give your children. Today, we will explore 9 things that parents, despite their best intentions, should never give their children. These are the life lessons that shape resilience, character, and a deeper understanding of the world. 1. Unconditional financial support without limits. It's natural to want to shield your children from the financial hardships you may have experienced. But providing them with financial support without expecting anything in return can have long-term consequences. When children receive unconditional financial aid, they often fail to develop critical life skills like budgeting, saving, and the value of hard work. Imagine a 30-year-old who has never had to pay rent, utilities, or a car payment because their parents always covered those costs. This is a story I came across where a father shared and asked for advice about his son's situation on a forum. The son had been overly sheltered, and when he had to handle his own finances, a crisis unfolded. The reality was, the son didn't struggle financially because he lacked income, but because he had never learned how to live within his financial means. Teaching your children to handle money responsibly from a young age sets them up for financial independence. Give them guidance, not handouts, and they'll be better prepared to face the world. 2. A sense of entitlement. Parents often want to give their children more than they had growing up, whether it's a better home, a more comfortable lifestyle, or even material things. However, consistently fulfilling their every wish can breed a dangerous sense of entitlement. When children grow up expecting everything to be handed to them, they fail to appreciate the value of hard work and self-reliance. A mother shared a story about her son on a forum. He had always been given the latest phone, designer clothes, and a new car from the age of 16 without having to earn any of it. Later in life, he constantly expected promotions at work or lavish gifts from others without putting in any effort. On top of that, the mother gradually became exhausted because she could no longer keep up with his growing demands. Instead of giving your children everything they ask for, teach them the joy of earning things through their own hard work. The lesson will carry them much further than any material item ever could. 3. Constant praise without honest feedback. It's natural to want to encourage and uplift your children. Positive reinforcement can build self-esteem, but constant praise, especially when undeserved, can actually undermine their development. When children are told they are amazing at everything, even when they're not, they may struggle to cope with failure or constructive criticism in the real world. John grew up always being told he was the best at every sport he played, even though he was only average. His father also created a perfect work environment for him in the family business. Now, his father is heartbroken, sharing lessons on a forum while still dealing with the consequences of John's actions at work. A balanced approach is key. Offer praise where it's due, but don't shy away from helping your children recognize areas where they can grow. Teach them that setbacks are not failures, but opportunities to improve. 4. Protection from failure. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. As parents, we naturally want to shield our children from disappointment, heartache, and failure. However, failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Children who never experience failure miss out on the opportunity to develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and perseverance. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Had he been protected from those failures or discouraged from continuing after his initial setbacks, we might not have the modern conveniences we enjoy today. The process of failing and learning from mistakes is what builds true grit and determination. Allowing your children to fail and then guiding them in how to rise again teaches them that failure is not something to fear. Rather, it is a stepping stone to success. 5. Unlimited freedom without boundaries. While it may seem like a gift to give your children the freedom to make their own choices, freedom without boundaries can lead to confusion and poor decision-making. Children, especially teenagers, need structure to feel secure. Boundaries provide a framework within which they can learn responsibility and accountability. A teenager who is allowed to stay out all night without a curfew or rules may quickly lose sight of the importance of safety, time management, and respect for others. Similarly, a child who never faces consequences for breaking rules may struggle to understand the role of responsibility in adulthood. Setting clear, consistent boundaries helps children understand the cause and effect of their actions. It also gives them a sense of security, knowing that their parents care enough to set limits. 6. Material possessions in place of your time. In a world where parents are busier than ever, it's easy to fall into the trap of substituting material gifts for quality time. Many parents believe that buying their children the latest gadgets, toys, or clothes will show their love and make up for their absence. However, children value time spent with their parents far more than any material possession. A child who grows up with every new video game system but seldom shares meaningful moments with their parents may find themselves feeling emotionally disconnected. Material items may bring short-term happiness, but they don't foster the deep, lasting bonds that come from shared experiences and conversations. Instead of focusing on what you can buy your children, focus on the time you spend with them. Go for walks, play board games, or simply have dinner together. These moments will leave a far more lasting impression than any physical gift ever could. 7. A life without stress or challenges. While no parent wants to see their child stressed or overwhelmed, it's important to recognize that some stress is beneficial. Children who grow up without any challenges are often unprepared to face the real-world demands of adulthood. Learning to navigate stress and overcome obstacles is an essential part of personal growth. I recently came across Jane's story on a forum. Her daughter never had to take on any responsibilities at home, was never asked to help with chores, and was never expected to complete her homework independently. Jane and her husband took care of everything for her. When their daughter entered the workforce and faced the inevitable challenges of life, she was immediately overwhelmed. In just 6 short months, she switched between 5 different companies, saying she couldn't handle the pressure or didn't fit in. Now, Jane and her husband are still struggling with this issue. Instead of shielding your children from stress, teach them how to manage it. Help them develop healthy coping mechanisms, such as problem solving, time management, and relaxation techniques. Learning how to handle stress in small doses prepares them for the larger challenges they will face as adults. 8. Immediate gratification. In today's fast-paced world, where everything from food to entertainment can be accessed with the click of a button, it's easy to fall into the trap of giving your children what they want immediately. However, teaching children the value of delayed gratification is one of the most important lessons for long-term success. The famous marshmallow experiment demonstrated the power of delayed gratification. Children who were able to wait for a second marshmallow rather than eating the first one immediately were shown to have better life outcomes, including higher academic achievement and better relationships as adults. Teaching your children to wait for rewards, whether it's saving up for a toy or working toward a long-term goal, helps them develop patience, self-control, and an appreciation for the process, not just the result. 9. The expectation that you will always be there. As parents, it's natural to want to protect and support our children. But one of the hardest truths we must face and prepare our children for is that we will not always be there. Failing to teach your children independence and self-reliance can leave them unprepared for the challenges they will face when you are no longer around to guide them. Consider a child who has always relied on their parents to make decisions, provide emotional support, or solve problems. When those parents are no longer around, the child may feel lost, unable to navigate the complexities of life on their own. Teaching your children to think for themselves, make their own decisions, and handle life's ups and downs without your constant intervention is one of the greatest gifts you can give them. It ensures that they will be capable, confident, and resilient long after you are gone. As parents, we give out of love, but sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing when to hold back. By not giving your kids everything they ask for, whether it's material things, unlimited freedom, or protection from failure, you're actually giving them the tools they need to become strong, independent, and capable adults. Looking back on that chilly autumn evening with my dad, I now realize it wasn't the money I needed. It was the life lessons he gave me that were truly invaluable. How about you? Do you have any stories related to this topic? Please feel free to share with us, and let's discuss it further. Your comments, likes, and subscriptions are a huge encouragement as I continue gathering and sharing stories and knowledge with the community.